everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucardo and welcome back to Resident Lover. We are back on Angie's route. I have no ados, none. Let's just get into it. You wake up with a hangover that is made only worse by the fact that there seems to be loud noises coming from the kitchenette in your dorm room. You open your door to find two cops standing next to Angie. Angie? You ask and hold your throbbing head with one hand. What is going on? Hey, roomie, didn't mean to wake you up. Are you okay? Yep, these officers are just taking me down to the station. Alarm fills you. A cold sweat breaks down your back. For what? A suspected murder. Angie says this with an easygoing grin. Your stomach drops to your feet. What? The officers whisk Angie away out the door before you can even formulate a sentence. All you can do is stand there helplessly, trying to process everything. Since when has Angie been accused of a murder? Since when is your roommate capable of killing? Angie is the sweetest person in the world and the last person to kill someone else. No, something isn't adding up here. Once you get over your initial shock, you pull out the card Donna gave you and call the number on there. Donna will know what to do. She arrives half an hour later, flustered and with her gardening apron askew. What's going on? She asks, despite you having told her everything you already know over the phone. I don't know. I woke up and the cops were here and they took her away. Angie said something about them suspecting her of a murder? She's gonna be alright, isn't she? Donna's face pales. She will be. She can't get wrapped up into such things. Stay put. Donna tacks on when she sees you reach for your coat to put it on as you intend to go with her. Stay put, she tacks on, yeah. Donna runs out of the room. You can't just sit here, you're too riled up. Instead, you decide that if you must do nothing while Donna rescues Angie from the police station, that you can go and at least get something to drink and eat to keep up your strength in case they need you. You head over to the cafe. What to drink? Asparagus water? Ew. Let's just have an espresso. This will probably worsen your nerves, but who said you ever make smart choices? Well, this entire time we haven't. So what to eat? Apple pie, a brownie, or a breakfast burrito? We'll do a breakfast burrito. This will fill you right up. You take your food and drink to a side table and try to relax, but find that you can't. You're too worried about Angie. Ariana, Avery, and Nicoletta walk into the cafe, talking loudly enough that you can hear them. Did you hear what happened last night? It's awful. I never took Miranda's University as a place someone could get murdered. What exactly happened? Don't know. Only that Angie was next to the body when they found it. She was covered in blood and really drunk, mumbling something about holes and dark hair. How do you know all this? Who told you? Avery tosses her hair back as if this is a point of pride. I was at the party when they arrested her. I wasn't drunk, so I overheard a lot of the stuff. They also said that there was only one exit out of the room, meaning no one else could have been in there with them since the door was locked from the outside. Ariana frowns. Why would Angie lock herself into a room with a student when she didn't want to get caught? Nicoletta shakes her head. She was probably drunk and wasn't thinking it through. Your stomach drops at this. Is everyone gossiping about this? You feel awful for Angie. You can't imagine wanting to go out with friends and then having a night end like this. What truly happened? You need to find out more. For Angie's sake. It's what roommates do for each other. I think we're more than roommates at this point. We're just friends. You leave your food behind and head out to find Mia. As head of the sorority, she has to look out for her fellow sisters. Exactly, we're sisters in a sorority. You find her in the library, studying. You think she's the only sorority member who actually does. You notice the book she's reading from the strange archaic symbols on it, and she hastily places it away when she sees you approach. Hey, what's up? I need to talk to you about what happened with Angie at the party last night. Oh, I don't know much about it, but there's no reason to panic. The school is still a safe space for everyone. Bella, the student council president, and Miranda, the university president, are working hard on making an announcement soon to address all of this and put up additional safety measures in place. Mia shakes her head, looking a bit forlorn at all this. Poor Bella, having to burden with all of this. And right before the elections, too. Will Angie be alright? You don't think she's guilty, do you? Well, according to what I've heard. We're sister pledges! Aren't you going to help her? There's not much I can do against the law. Did you see anything suspicious that night? Mia rubbed her chin, deep in thought. Now that you mention it, a few people were behaving oddly at the party, but then again, it might have just been because they were drunk. I'll take any suggestions. I spotted MJ walking past the door to the room they eventually found the body in several times, back and forth. Jasmine was seen arguing with the victim a few hours beforehand, and the Cassandra stands had all been following the victim around all night long, yelling at her to stay away from Cassandra. A list of suspects. Good. You can work with this. You head back to the dorm room to see that Angie has come back. You rush up to hug her, glad to see her. She hugs you back. Danny and Donna are both there as well. How are you? Did they drop the charges? Well, they couldn't find me guilty, so they let me go on bail for now. She does a twirl around. Look at me. I'm a bad bitch now. Got a rap sheet. Donna scowls. Take this more seriously. I agree with your aunt. This isn't a joke, Angie. Angie scowls at them. I get to solve my own case. Do you remember anything from last night? Nope. Donna, Daniela, and you all sag with frustration. But I'm sure I didn't do it. I just know someone else was in the room before me and they ran away when I got there. Someone with long, dark hair. This isn't super helpful. Keep an eye on her. She instructs, and Angie pouts at her. Donna leaves, and Daniela goes back to her room. It's you and Angie. She links her arm into yours. So, we solving this case, Watson? Why am I Watson? Because you're more grounded than me. Besides, this is my murder mystery. I want to clear my name. You suppose it couldn't hurt to bring Angie along in the investigation? It might, but okay. What can we do about it? With Angie donning a Sherlock hat and fake mustache from Donna's endless supply of theater props, Angie sets off with you as the two of you decide to go search for clues. Who do you want to go talk to first? We'll go talk to the Stans, get them out of the way. You highly doubt the Stans and the single brain cell they all pass around could do something so heinous as to murder another student. But if said student was getting too close to Cassandra, there was no telling what they could do. You find them in the theater building, packing up now that rehearsal is done. When they see you and Angie, they scowl in unison. It's frankly unsettling. What do you want, Worm? I've got questions for you about what happened last night. I heard you were hounding Stanley about Cassandra at the party. Oh, it's Stanley? Oh, poor Stanley. That is none of your business, nor your concern. Kinda is when I'm trying to prove my innocence. We're not talking to you. We didn't do it. Leave us alone. They're not likely to answer you, so this is a bust. Angie frowns as the two of you leave. Who do you want to go talk to next? We'll go talk to MJ because she's chill. You two decide to find MJ at the pizza shop. They're behind the counter, staring with boredom into the void. Welcome to the Pizza House of Big Papa Cheeses. High quality dining for college students on a budget. Please stop asking me to reheat the slices. For the price you're paying, you cook the pizza yourself. We're not here for pizza, we're here for murder. She cuts in and raises her hand over her head. MJ arches a brow, unimpressed. Do you want a slice or no? God, MJ's so hot. We wanted to ask you a few questions about last night. You lean an elbow onto the greasy countertop and almost faceplant onto it when your elbow skids on the oily surface. You righten yourself up. Right, anyways, sources have told us that they saw you the night of the crime wandering by the door of the room the crime occurred in. Oh, that. I heard voices behind the door. They seemed like they were arguing. Before I could gather the nerve to knock, Finch asked me to help with refilling drinks in one of the theater's rooms. If this is true, then this is a dead end. Do you know who the voices could have belonged to? Not really, but I did hear a few words tossed around about a council. Could this be the student council MJ is referring to? Can anyone confirm that story? Finch could. Another lead to follow up on. You and Angie thank MJ for their time and go find Finch. Finch confirms MJ's story. Thus, you need to look for more clues. Who do you want to go talk to? Jasmine. You find Jasmine in the cafe, holding a cup of coffee in her hand and staring out into the distance. You sit down in front of her. She doesn't notice either of you until Angie loudly clears her throat. Jasmine looks up. What? Can't you see I'm grieving here? We just have a few questions for you. Jasmine snorts. You want me to talk to the murder suspect? Her hands tighten on the coffee cup. She's crushing it, and hot coffee is spilling out, but she doesn't seem to notice it. They have no evidence I did it. Stanley was my friend. We worked on the council together, and you have the audacity to walk around and you yank Angie out of there before the situation can escalate. Seems Jasmine has anger issues. Wonder if those could have erupted in a moment of passion, led to regretful things, and now Jasmine feels guilt for what she's done to Stanley? But with her this upset, there's no way to question her. We should go see the room, check if there's any evidence to collect. Won't the cops have taken everything? Maybe not everything. It won't hurt to look. You place a hand on her arm. Are you okay? It's been a rough day. It's okay to feel upset. Angie offers you a kind smile. I know I'm not guilty. Even if I was drunk and don't remember most of my night, I know I had nothing to do with the murder in that room. I know I saw someone else there. I just didn't see their face. Besides, this is fun. We're a crime-busting duo. She lets out a loud whoop and leads the way into the theater, where one hallway has been sectioned off. You can hear the angry voice down the hall in front of the crime scene. You slip under the police tape and go down to it, wondering if it's the killer returning to the scene of the crime. Mother is going to be furious about this. Her theater's reputation will be ruined, or worse, the theater will be shut down and I'll be forced to do community theater shows. She throws a hand melodramatically across her forehead before dropping it when she sees you. Oh. Cassandra's stare becomes accusatory. You're not supposed to be down here. She looks at Angie. Returning to the scene of the crime? I could ask you the same. Cassandra shakes her head. I know you didn't do it. Did you see who did? That's what we wanted to ask you. Where were you when the crime happened? Cassandra rolls her eyes as if this should be obvious. I was hooking up with Avery. And Tina. And Jasmine. Angie sticks out her tongue. Ugh, such a horn dog. Cassandra smirks at her. Can't help it if the ladies love me. What time did this occur? Definitely before poor Stanley got gutted. We wrapped up around 3 a.m. Could this mean Jasmine was innocent? Maybe she truly was grieving her friend. Avery and Tina left for bed afterwards. I know Jasmine went back to the party because she was supposed to walk a friend home. So then that placed Jasmine back at the party around the time the crime could have happened. And it had to do with council business, considering that MJ had said people were screaming about that. It would only make sense for the council members to be involved. Anyway, I have to go. Good luck getting the case dropped. Mother's no doubt found the news, and she's going to burst a blood vessel if I don't help calm her down. This theater is our lifeblood if anything happens to it. Cassandra seems to not want bad press around her theater. It would be dumb to commit a crime in said theater, unless Stanley had dirt on Cassandra, and Cassandra had reacted and shut up Stanley using her love for the theater to throw people off from thinking it was her who did it. It's not Cassandra. Do you know who might have wanted to hurt Stanley? Cassandra shrugs. I didn't really know her. She didn't seem the party type, which is why it was very surprising to find out she was at a party. She was always busy working for the council. I heard she was running for re-election and that the competition was really tough. Maybe Stanley had been asked to meet by her competition at the party. Parties were loud and there were drunk people around. The perfect place for no one to notice something bad going on in the many rooms of the theater. I'm gonna go now. You should as well. She bids you two goodbye, and you wait until she's out of eye-shot to get down on your knees and begin picking the door lock. You need to get into this room to find clues. Keep a watch, make sure no one's coming down the hall. Why are you picking the lock? Angie pushes open the unlocked door. You and Angie exchange glances. Has someone already entered the room before the two of you? Was it the killer? What in the Bloody Mary is going on? Chapter 3. Cautiously, you decide to enter the room first. Hands raised into fists, hoping that will be enough to take someone down. When you enter, you find the room is empty. The room is meant to be a small area for kids to relax between rehearsals. There's a vending machine humming in the corner, a sink to wash dishes, a microwave, and a table that had been pushed to the side. Just like a green room, yeah. There's blood on the carpet that has not been removed, and there are symbols gouged into it. Symbols that look archaic and old. What exactly happened here? It almost seems like there was a ritual, but a ritual for what? Secret. You turn around and let out a muffled scream when you see someone hiding behind the opened door, trying to make themselves as small as possible. Angie turns at your sound and strikes up a fighting pose. I know how to fight! Come out here! Cinder comes out from where she had been hiding behind the door, hands up. I'm not trying to run or hurt anyone. Then why are you here? Tell us, or report you to campus safety for entering a crime scene. You're on a crime scene too. Only to prove Angie's innocence. Cinder looks suspicious. Trying to hide evidence? No, but you could be. You flip the script on her. You don't need you and Angie being a suspect in this. Cinder sighs, lowering her hands. I was morbidly curious about the scene, and as an Umbrella sorority member, I had to figure out what to do in this whole situation. It gives the sorority a bad light when it's public knowledge one of its members is an accused murderer. You don't know if Cinder is telling the truth, but you hope she is. You need to help Angie. She's innocent. Yeah, we don't know that. The police asked me to keep an eye on things, considering we owe them for all the times they haven't arrested our members in exchange for our yearly donations. But this case is one they can't overlook, Angie. They want my eyes on you, and you two being here is suspicious. Damn. You can't have that. That would make Angie look even more guilty. Cinder, please don't tell them. Cinder shrugs and waves goodbye. You spot something sticking out of her pants pocket, as if she hastily shoved it in there. Quickly, you question her. What's that in your pocket? She scowls, avoiding your eyes. Just some notes from class that I forgot to take out of my pocket. I'm gonna go now. I didn't find anything. She leaves the room and you scowl at her back. Let's look for clues, says Angie. Angie begins to search the room, looking here and there, hand on chin. You help her, but the room is clean other than the carpet. The cops took any shred of evidence with them. I'm remembering something. This person. They escaped from this side of the room. What do you mean? Angie points at the panel behind the fridge. I remember coming up here because Avery told me someone wanted to talk to me here. I got up the stairs and the door was closed but not locked. I pushed it open and someone moved behind a panel, someone with dark hair, about average height. This fridge wasn't here before. She looks down at it, and you do too. You tug on the black cord and find it's not plugged into anything because there's no outlet nearby. It also looks brand new. Who would put this fridge here? Why would they try to cover up the hidden panel? I don't know, but this just goes to show someone else is involved in this. Someone is trying to cover up the crime and leave it all on me. Do you think Cinder moved it in? Cinder wouldn't be strong enough to do it on her own. Help me move this. Together, the two of you move the fridge out of the way. Angie dusts her hands off and then slaps one onto the panel behind it. It swings open, releasing musty air. A secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! Donna told me the theater is full of them, to help tech crews and actors slip in and out of locations much more quickly and without getting in the way of each other. They only get used during shows. Your brain turns this information over. Meaning, only someone who works in the theater or has worked in the theater would know about this. I feel like the murderer might have been Donna. I don't want the murderer to be Donna. It's not exactly the best kept secret, so someone at a party could have noticed it. Angie steps through first, using the flash of her phone to light the way. You notice there are light bulbs every few feet, but neither of you turn them on. The floors are wooden and creak underfoot, a few spiderwebs up high in the corners. The tunnel seems to wind on and on, or maybe it feels that way. Angie suddenly stops in front of you, and you almost bump into her. You peer around her shoulder. Angie's got the light trained on someone's face. Astera, could you stop that? Are you trying to blind me? Another suspect? What are you doing here, returning to the scene of the crime? I only wanted to get my book back. Anna Maria distracted me and I forgot it here. I didn't remember until now. Likely story. You can ask Anna Maria if you don't believe me, although she probably doesn't remember anyways. She has no respect for books. The police took everything, so there's no point in you sneaking in. My book was innocent! It did nothing wrong! She glares at the two of you. Aren't you the murder suspect? What are you doing here, returning from the crime scene? I only want to clear my name. I'm not guilty. Someone else committed the crime and framed me. I know now that they called me into that room in hopes I'd stumble upon the body. Then they called the cops on me. Angie's eyes grow distant. Going back to the room must have brought back the horror of the situation. Poor Stanley. Their throat was slit and so were their wrists. They choked to death on their own blood. They must have been so scared. Astera scowls at this. She seems uncomfortable to be in the tunnel with Angie and you. What? With Angie and you? Yeah. I'm gonna go. All this drama is putting a damper on my campaign for the student council. You're running for a position? The music just cut out. I was. I actually stayed up the night of the crime in the library to write my speeches. Oh, the music's back. Now everything is delayed until this whole situation blows over. Angie scowls at her. Can anyone prove that? Astera frowns. I was in a small hidden corner of the library only I know about to avoid the general idiots on campus, so no. This isn't Angie's fault, but the fault of whoever killed Stanley. Someone who had a motive. You think I did it? She doesn't miss your pointed look. She scoffs, deeply offended. I wasn't running for her position. I had no need to get rid of her even if her character did overlap with my character on this campus. There can only be one bookworm, you know. I take vast pride in my nerdiness, and she was trying to take my spot. Mia was the one running for Stanley's position, but again, who would kill over that? Mia would have won the election easily. Another clue to the puzzle. I mean, could be Mia. Astera leaves after this, telling you two not to follow her. You wait until she's gone to speak with Angie. This just gets more and more convoluted. A lot of pieces are falling into place, and you think you have enough to draw a conclusion. You and Angie exit the tunnel. Who do you think it is? Ooh, I think it's you. Angie, MJ, Jasmine, The Stands, Cassandra, Cinder, Astera, Mia. You don't know. Show me the other shot. Oh. You know what? It was Mia that put us on this whole chase anyway. I think it was Mia. Mia was running for student council right against Stanley's position. Maybe they had a disagreement over it, leading to Mia sacrificing Stanley in some twisted ritual to get the position. After all, Mia had been reading the book about rituals in the library when you have arrived. See? And it wouldn't be too hard to suspect that Mia would have had the police plant a fridge in front of the panel since the sorority and the cops had an agreement. Mia crosses her arms over her chest. Are you serious? I'm trying to keep Angie out of... Why are we approaching her? Are you serious? I'm trying to keep Angie out of jail, and here you are accusing me of being the one to cause her to go to jail in the first place? I want both of you out of the sorority now. To everyone's delight, the police no longer declare Angie a suspect in the case a few weeks later. I don't want to be a bourbon. Drink 7. With your wrist still in a wrap... Oh, my wrist is still injured? With your wrist still in a wrap, Angie quickly steps in to try and help you around the dorms or around campus whenever she can. The help and extra attention is nice, and you get to spend more time with Angie as she's not spending as much time with her other friends. Once the semester is over and all finals have been finished, the campus feels a bit empty. Most students have gone back home, and you haven't. You don't have the money to fly back and forth, and instead stay on campus. Angie does too, meaning the two of you get to spend even more time together. Your wrist was healed by this point, but you don't go out and party. Where would you, considering no one's throwing anything? Instead, you take time to work on some of your art pieces for fun, taking time to learn how to cook some new recipes and spend some time watching movies and TV shows with Angie while drinking wine. Sometimes, either you or Angie would fall asleep in the middle of a movie. Her head will drop onto your shoulder, or yours will end up in her lap. Somehow, your bodies seem to gravitate towards each other, and you don't know if it's the alcohol or something more, something that's causing the warm glow in your chest. The two of you are parked on that couch from dawn to dusk several days in a row, huddled under blankets and eating snacks and drinking. It's different from anything you've done all semester long. Usually spending time with Angie means going out and staying out until long hours of the night. Then, during the day, she is gone with her other friends until it's time for you to pregame with her and head out on another campus event. This is tame in comparison. The action movie you're watching ends and another movie pops up in the recommended. It's a romance movie. Angie snorts in disgust at it and quickly skips over it to another action one. Don't like romance films? Not a huge fan of them. I prefer action or mystery movies. Those have romance too. I know, they cram them in. It's annoying. Not everything needs to have romance in it. I mean, yeah. I personally love a good romance, but, you know, not everything is about that. You're right, they put romance into movies where friendships would be better. If I wanted romance, I'd watch a romance movie. But I don't. So, on the topic of romance, have you ever liked anyone before? I have, but the way I like people is different from how allosexuals like people. And allosexuals? Like allistic? Allosexuals and allosexuals have a hard time understanding it sometimes when I try to explain myself. I don't want to sleep with the person I like. I mean, I can, but I'd prefer other things. I want to do cute things with the person I care for. Angie reaches over and holds your hand, staring into your eyes. Like hand-holding, watching movies, cuddling, or eating good food together. I want that kind of stuff. I want to feel safe and comfortable. Your heart is beating in your chest. Is she trying to say something to you? No, you must be imagining things. Angie doesn't like you. She's just like this with everyone. Touchy and caring and all smiles. I like the cute stuff too. Angie rubs her thumb over the back of your hand, and you feel heat flush you. It's the alcohol. It's only the alcohol making you feel and think this way. You know Angie's cute, and you like her, but it's not like a romantic like, is it? You try very hard to delude yourself because how cliche would it be to fall for the roommate? And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Is what you can imagine the whole campus saying as they gossip about you two. Before you can respond, Angie drops her hand. This is a nice break from all of our usual partying. Maybe we should do this more often. I agree, though I can't wait to get back to slamming shots. That's the real fun. Angie seems hurt by this. Is that the only thing you're looking forward to when the new semester starts? Kinda. I mean, what's the point of college if not to party and make friends? I actually want to talk to you about that a bit. She trails off, shifting around the couch and muting the movie so you'll be forced to pay attention to her. You swirl your glass of wine in one hand, already having drunk 3 bottles today by 10 a.m. Maybe you shouldn't drink so much. You're tempted to roll your eyes at her. I'm fine. Are you? I can hold my drink, but you shouldn't have to feel the same way. What I'm saying is, don't feel pressured to drink as much as me. I know you only want to keep up with me because you feel this is the only time that we get to hang out, which is at parties, but we can do other stuff. We don't have to do that. You want me to give up partying? We can both give it up. She puts her hand over yours. There's other stuff to do on campus, and I hate seeing you so hungover the next day. It wasn't so bad at the beginning, but now your grades are slacking. You've lost a ton of weight, and you don't even leave the dorm sometimes, unless it's to party. I don't have a problem. You're being defensive, and Angie looks concerned. But she's also worried of pushing the topic, alienating you from her. Okay. Let's finish watching this movie then. She turns the movie on, but the casual atmosphere is gone. You clutch the glass in your hand. You don't have a drinking or a partying problem. You don't! You throw back the rest of the wine and drink it down in one gulp. You're fine. Right? Winter break also means spending more time at the flower shop, helping Dana with her... Dana? Why do I keep doing that? Helping Donna with her stock and cleaning the store. While you're cautious around Donna, considering she doesn't seem to like you all that much, she treats you nicely. Each day for your help, you and Angie get freshly brewed tea and small sandwiches. They are delicious. One day, Donna has a request for you. She holds out a huge ornate vase with flowers that smell so strongly sweet it brings tears to your eyes. I have a few orders to bring out. This is one of the vases. There's more in the back. Angie, can you load them into your car? Alcina needs them. Right away! You help Angie load the heavy vases into the back of her car. The entire drive over, you can't stop sneezing from the heavy scent. Her car takes the two of you up to an impressive mansion. Who lives here? Daniela's mom. Not that Daniela would ever admit it. She's embarrassed to be rich. Can she and I trade places? You'd love to have that much money at your disposal. The amount of food or art supplies you could get. Your heart hurts thinking about it. Angie parks the car fairly well this time, though she has a whole driveway to do so. You help her unload all of the flowers on the front doorstep. She rings the door. A few minutes later, a butler comes out and wordlessly begins to take the vases back in. Once those are all in, Angie holds out a paper form. I need Alcina to sign this. The butler goes to fetch Alcina, and not moments later, a very tall woman appears in the doorway. You try not to stare, but how can you not? Now you understand where Danielle and her sisters get their height from, and even then, they're not as tall as their mother. Donna didn't come? You know how she is, busy with the business and the theater. I'm busy too, but I still make time for my family. Alcina rumbles with displeasure. Angie offers a sheepish shrug and Alcina signs the form, paying no mind to you. Finished, you and Angie head back to the car. You're related to Alcina? You squeal out. And by default, Daniela? Angie laughs as she reverses out of the drive. No, she's not real family. Alcina and Donna's are sisters, but in like an adopted family sense. Alcina is an honorary aunt. Angie jerks the car wheel suddenly to avoid the deer that appears on the road out of nowhere, but she can't do it fast enough. The car goes into a tailspin and you hold on, eyes squeezed closed, praying for the best. When the car stops, you open your eyes. You both are in one piece, thankfully. Angie gets out, scowling at where her front tire is dented from hitting the pothole to avoid the deer who is staring at you mockingly before prancing off. Ugh. I'm gonna have to get this fixed. Where? Uncle Heisenberg has a mech shop not far from here. Hopefully the car can make it there. Oh, yes. Angie inches the car slowly to the mech shop. The ride bumpy the entire time because of the wobbling wheel. When you get there, a man with gray hair greets the two of you. How'd you break the car this time? It was a deer, I swear. Ruby will back me up on this. Heisenberg snorts. You're brave riding with her. You couldn't pay me to do it. Do you want to know how many times I've fixed that car? It's a miracle it's still standing. You'd prefer not to think about that. How long to fix it? An hour? You and your friend can help yourself to some coffee in the back. Angie waves his offer off. No thanks, I'd actually like us to live. Instead, she pulls the two of you out and you sit on the bench in front of the shop to pass the time. Angie is unable to sit still and quiet for more than a few minutes. Let's play 20 questions. You can ask me anything and I can ask you anything. Ask her anything? What should you ask first?
Favorite song, favorite food, favorite drink? Go, go, go!
Favorite color? That's an easy one. I love all the colors of the rainbow. Favorite food? Anything and everything I will eat. Favorite drink? Alcohol, of course. My turn to ask you some. Have you ever killed someone? Jeez, Angie, what the f is with that question? Just curious. I mean, we had the whole me being accused of murder thing, so I'm wondering how you'd react to something like that. Probably not very well. Next question. Angie grumbles at your dismissal of the question, but moves on. What's your favorite color? She flips your own question on you. You appreciate her scaling the intensity back. What is your favorite color? Red.
The blood of angry men.
Personally, it's actually blue. Especially like a navy blue or like a royal blue. I like blue because it's a calming color. Favorite book? Spicy stories only. Fan fiction for the win. Anything that will f me up. Do you think I read? I haven't opened a book in years. Angie kicks her feet back and forth on the bench. She sighs impatiently. Even the game isn't enough to sate her. He's drilling something. Okay. When will Uncle Heisenberg be done? He's not your actual uncle, is he? Nope, just a part of Donna's friend circle, so to say. But they've known each other for so long that they insist us kids call them family. Don't mean to go back to your family, but given Alcina's not really your aunt, is Donna really your aunt? She is! She's my mother's sister. But then both my parents passed away in a tragic accident. I was there at the time, but I somehow survived. I woke up from a coma in Donna's house, and she told me what had happened, and I've been staying with her ever since. Oh, jeez! You hadn't meant to open up all that trauma. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Angie waves you off. It's fine. It's been so many years I don't even really remember them. And I love Aunt Donna. She takes good care of me and never lets me come to harm. Though I wish she'd let me leave the town. Heisenberg sticks his head out the door. Car's all fixed. You can get it now. Angie bounces off of her seat and the two of you head out to get her car and take it back to campus. Don't whine about it. Drink 8. We're only on drink 8? Aren't there like 12? After finding out about Angie's past, you can't help but wonder how she keeps a smile plastered to her face every day. You suppose maybe she really doesn't... I think he's fixing the cabinets. You suppose maybe she really doesn't remember much from her childhood, so it doesn't bother her. Or maybe she's just always been a bright and bubbly person no matter what. The new semester begins and it's right back to partying for you and Angie. You've got your new classes picked out, but they interest you less than before. Even with your wrist all healed up, you don't use that hand for writing, but for pouring and mixing drinks. Despite the murder in the theater last semester, the parties still go strong there. You're there nearly every weekend, hanging out with anyone and everyone. Taking shots with Anna Maria, dancing with Livia, nearly making out with Nicoletta. Eventually, you have hit rock bottom. And it comes to March, right as exam season is going to start. You end up drinking way too much and wake up in a hospital on an IV. Angie coming to fetch you and drive you back to campus when you are finally discharged. Gave myself alcohol poisoning. Ooh. The car ride back is tense. Angie's eyes glued to the road. She drives back slowly, which is unlike her. She doesn't say a single word to you until you arrive at the dorms. Angie looks concerned. For once, her permanently etched smile is gone. I think we should stop partying for a bit. I'll be fine. I can keep going. You would be loath to give this up. They're counting on you to be there at parties, to help them drink and dance the night away. Angie shakes her head. It won't hurt you to miss a few days of partying. A few days? You are aghast. You can't miss out on that many days. You try to rise up from your bed, but she puts a gentle hand on your shoulder to move you back down. I'm seriously concerned for you. I don't want you to become an alcoholic. Babe, we are way past alcoholic. 3 bottles of wine before 10 p.m. We are way past alcoholic. Are you for real right now? I'm the alcoholic? What about you, you hypocrite? You guzzle back more alcohol than a fighter jet guzzles fuel, and you want to tell me to stop? Your loud tone of voice makes her eyes widen and hurt. You feel awful after last night, and her nagging at you is only making your body ache more. I'm only trying to look out for you. College is supposed to be fun, not hurtful. Don't tell me what to do. Now Angie gets angry. I will tell you what to do, and your health is at risk. I can handle drinking, but you can't. Then why don't you stop drinking? Why am I the only one that has to do so? Angie heaves out a sigh. Fine, then. I'll do it to show you I don't need it to have a good time, and neither do you. We are going to a campus event that doesn't involve drinking. You scowl at her, certain she'll fail at this. Her life revolves around socializing, around being the #1 party girl on campus. How could she so easily step away from all of that? For you, I'll do it. I didn't think that this would happen to you if we hung out. Her eyes became downcast and she rubs her upper arm. This is my fault. If I hadn't been introducing you to everyone, then this would have never happened. You would have never gone to the hospital to get your stomach pumped. You wouldn't get hurt, and you wouldn't have to rely on drinking to have fun or make friends. I thought you'd be different. I thought you wouldn't let yourself get to this point. You don't know what to say to this. It's not her blame to shoulder. You should be more responsible when you drink. No one is forcing you to do it. In fact, the only one thinking they need to drink more to prove they're more fun is you. You let your eyes slam close. Your earlier anger dissipates. You're being an ass to Angie, and to yourself. You'd let yourself get carried away. Maybe drinking wasn't the key to having fun in college. This is your wake-up call. I think maybe a break would be good. But, for the record, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not. Angie doesn't look entirely convinced, but she nods her head. Tomorrow, let's go to the International Food Club event. Some good food will help you feel better. You and Angie head out to the International Food Festival that is happening at 2 p.m. on Saturday. The place is packed already, loads of hungry college students hoping to catch some cheap bites of food. Students who are a part of this club are allowed to make their own dishes and share them at a profit. You could have signed up, but you were too busy drinking. In fact, you wonder how many campus events like this you've missed, all because you were busy overcoming hangovers. That is literally the definition of an alcoholic, missing out on stuff in life. The smell of all these different foods is mixing in the air and making you hungry. There's spicy and savory and sweet scents all mingling together. You spot a few familiar faces. Who should you go to first? I guess Danny. I'm not going to Rebecca's table. Daniela is standing there with her sisters, Cassandra and Bella. Bella is standing arms crossed across her chest and looking as if she'd pay good money to be anywhere else while accepting people's money. While Cassandra flirts with the customers and heaps up giant platefuls of food, Daniela hands out forks and napkins and greets each person with a smile. When she sees you and Angie, she waves you over. I saved some food for my favorite roomies. You better have. This is sarmale. I'm gonna go with it. Essentially cabbage rolls. I made those. Cassandra made the a type of sweet bread with swirls in it that looks very fancy. And Bella made the shiftel, which are meatballs. She makes the best balls. These balls are the only ones I'll let enter my mouth. Cassandra gives a wink. Bella pulls a face at her. Ugh, people are trying to eat here, and you're making talk about male genitals. Have some decorum. Sorry, Sora. Sora? Yeah, sure. Cassandra doesn't look too apologetic. I'll make sure to talk about female genitals instead. Bella lets out a pained groan and launches into a triad in Romanian, no doubt scolding Cassandra, to which Cassandra responds with a host of foul language playfully. Okay. Get eaten by dogs. It's Romanian. Daniela rubs the back of her head sheepishly. Maybe go enjoy your food. I'll handle them. Angie and you walk off. Where do you go? Oh gosh, if we go to Rebecca's table, is it just gonna be like freaking like hot dogs and stuff? Can't remember which Rebecca is the one that's American. One of them was Polish. Am I gonna go to all of them? I'll go to Finch's. Finch's table is a bit crowded with Avery, Cinder, B, and MJ standing there, all with their own dishes. Have you come to sample the best? You notice some Filipino dishes you've had before. There's a stew that is both sweet and sour. Makes your mouth water looking at it. Halo, 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 halo. A cold dessert made up of crushed ice, evaporated milk topped with ube jam, sweetened kidney beans, coconut strips, and fruit preserves with a scoop of ube ice cream on top. Except for some reason, the dish is suspiciously moving in the bowl. There's also lechon, which is lechon, I don't know, which is slowly roasted pig, except this one looks like it's been recovered straight out of Pompeii itself. Its skin is burnt to a crisp, and there are flakes of ash surrounding it. I made the halo halo and the lechon. Dig in. I don't know what Finch sounds like. You think you'll pass, but Angie has no such qualms. She gratefully accepts the cut of meat. As Finch cuts it, you swear you can hear the screams of unholy beings coming from its burned flesh. I made this. Sinigang. You think you'll take that? You want to try some of my miso? Freshly made with extra salt. It's a staple dish in Japan, and in my house, served with most of our meals. You accept the bowl, a broth with seaweed and tofu cubes. MJ says, I've prepared fladel soup, which is essentially soup with pancakes cut in strips, and it's the dish we eat in Swabia in the south. You think you'll try some of this too. What did you bring? B arches a brow. I brought myself. Nicoletta approaches MJ, and the two begin to go back and forth in German over something, while you and Angie take your food to the side to enjoy. Manchmal frage, nope. Manchmal frage ich mich ob du, I don't know what that means. Ausschließlich, Pfannkuchen und Pizza bestecht. Sometimes I ask myself if you're exclusively made out of pancakes and pizza. Du hast Brot vergessen. Vergessen. You forgot bread. Vergessen. There's more. Und seit wann bist du überhaupt Schwabisch? Since when are you even Swabian? Bin ich nicht. I don't know if I pronounced any one of those correct. Ooh, where do you go? We'll go to Rebecca's second to last, so that we don't end on a low note. The Rebeccas are all standing together, each with their own dish in front of them. You wouldn't be surprised if they spit on the food before they handed it to you, and you almost consider not going there because of their animosity towards you, but you're hungry and your hunger makes you bold. You're here. Hi, Angie. Her tonal shift gives you whiplash, turning from condescending to happy in a second. Angie waves back to her. This is like a classic American dish, cheeseburgers, duh. If you don't know what a cheeseburger is, it's 2 buns, meat and cheese, maybe onions or pickles on top, then like get a better brain. There's stacks and stacks of them and they smell really good. You don't care for her attitude, but you do care to stuff your mouth right now. Tamal cubano. Everyone knows what that is. I shouldn't even have to explain a single word more to you. It's the best damn dish in the world, and you better be f***ing grateful you get to eat my cooking. Damn, Rebecca. You don't know exactly what it is, but it looks good too. Because you're an uncultured swine, let me tell you a little bit about my clearly awesome dish. This is Zurek. It's a type of sour-like rye soup with spices such as marjoram, with cut-up kielbasa, and a hard-boiled egg. It can be served in a regular bowl, but because I'm amazing, I served it in a bread bowl. This dish looks very hearty. You hand over the money. She glares at you. Oh, I don't know what Polish sounds like. Le page zebscrua lubila tu albo. You better fucking like it or else. You don't have to know what she's saying to know it's not good and hastily walk away with Angie before she can finish that threat. And Livia's table. Oh, look at these three. Livia is standing with Anna Maria and Estera. What are you guys serving today? I've made chiles en nogada. Chiles en nogada. Frick. Which is poblano chili stuffed with meats, fruits, and spices. The white sauce is made of pureed walnuts with cream cheese or crema. I've made contes, or countess as it's known in English. It's a small shortbread cake that comes with fruit salad I've made on the side. What is that? I've made verkak. No. It's a blood dumpling that comes served with pickles, sour cream, and cranberry jam. And when they say they've made it, they mean I made it. So enjoy! You hand over 10 lei and get plates for you and Angie to share. The flavors of all of the dishes are definitely unique, but you must say Anna Maria has a talent for cooking because all of these dishes are really good. Even the blood dumplings, which you did not expect to enjoy as much as you did. Isn't that better than partying? You tell me, because I'm sure you had a great time hearing me try to pronounce all of those different foods. She looks expectantly at you. What do you answer? It's a start, I guess. I guess doing something different wouldn't be bad. Angie slaps you across the back. That's the spirit! I had fun doing this with you today. Angie's all smiles, but different smiles. Somehow they're softer and they feel special. There's a light blush on the top of her cheeks, and she clears her throat before reaching up to fiddle with her flower crown. She always has that thing on her head, and despite all the hardcore partying, she's never lost it. Did Donna make that for you? The flower crown? Yes. It's not real flowers, otherwise they'd have died out a long time ago. A sudden impulse seizes you. Let's go to the woods. Angie's never one to question impulses unless you grab her hand. We're alone in the woods.
There's no one around and your phone is dead.
You head out to the woods behind the school, to where you know a few flowers will have started blooming. You plop down on the grass and she follows you. She watches you pluck flowers as you begin making flower crowns with them. Like this, with the spring sun hitting your backs and the slight chill in the air, the moment is perfect. Even Angie doesn't speak, sensing the significance of this. She watches your nimble fingers work and weave the stems together until you present her with her new flower crown. She takes her old one off and puts the new one on. I am now Angie, queen of the college woods. But you need a crown too, so you can be my royal partner. She reaches over for your hand and squeezes it. As you wish, your majesty. Angie gets a devious look on her face. And if her majesty requests a piggyback ride back to campus? You rise up to your feet and offer your hand to her. She rises up, pretending she's picking up her imaginary skirts as she does so. You bend down a bit and let her climb onto your back. You rise up and begin running back towards campus. Why? Angie laughs with glee and whoops loudly. When you get back to the dorms, you collapse onto the couch and the two of you lay there, collecting yourselves. You're a bit out of breath and your muscles are sore. Angie plops her crown down upon your brow and leans her face down over yours. You did well today, my royal steed. Oh, so now I've been downgraded from your partner to a horse? Angie giggles. Well, we were horsing around. You groan at her pun and she giggles again. Her face drifting very close to yours. If you lean up even an inch, you could kiss her. Suddenly the idea of it floods your head and roots there. What would it be like to kiss Angie? Would her lips taste sweet? Would she smile into the kiss? Or would she become serious, trying to lick her way into your mouth? Your face is red. Do you need some water? Yeah, I'm parched from running all the way up here. Angie rises up and gets to the kitchenette to fetch you some water. You're blushing and embarrassed that she caught you like that. You sit up and watch as Angie slams open cabinets to find a glass. I threw all the glasses out to stop you from drinking, so you'll have to drink from this. She hands you a cooking pot filled with water. Thanks. You mumble and avoid her eyes. You've suspected for a while now that you like Angie, but the full intensity of your emotions hasn't hit you until today. The only question is, does Angie like you back? Oh no, not a gin. Drink 9. Naturally, you don't do anything about your feelings for Angie, at least not for some time. Your partying has been tempered by her efforts to take you to other campus events to avoid drinking yourself into early liver failure. Unsurprisingly, when you're not partying, you actually get to know Angie a bit more at these events. You find out she loves arts and crafts, specifically scrapbook making. She loves flowers and has most of their meanings and uses memorized from working with Donna. Angie has a big appetite and will eat anything. She's strong and very athletic, and she enjoys sunbathing when the sun is out. You still feel the call to party every weekend, but it gets more bearable, and it's not like you've given it up entirely. You still go out a few times a month, but now you actually have time to study and look through your homework for class. Your grades go up a bit, but it's probably too late to salvage the majority of them. Since it's the end of the spring semester, there's a bit of a celebration to attend. The university has rented out inflatable bouncy houses, ice cream, and food trucks for all the students. You feel a bit like a young kid at a carnival. Angie looks like she is about to burst out of her skin with excitement. While many fellow students are walking around half drunk, sipping out of discreet mugs, you and Angie opt to be sober for this event. What should we do first, Rumi? What do you want to do first? Oh my gosh, a bouncy castle for college students? Bouncy castle first, I guess. You don't want to like eat and drink and then go to the bouncy castle, you know? I bet I can bounce higher than you. You race over to the bouncy castle, taking off your shoes and start bouncing and bouncing around, trying to outdo each other. You're laughing really hard, which makes it hard to concentrate on jumping too high up. The castle does start to get crowded a bit, so you and Angie decide to leave after a few more minutes. What do you want to do? Food. Let's get cotton candy. That is not food, but sure. You walk up to the vendor and order 2 cotton candies, one pink and one blue. Angie takes the blue one and sticks her whole face into it, devouring it in seconds. She got tufts of it stuck on her cheeks, and you reach over to pluck the bits off before popping them into your mouth. They melt on your tongue. Sweet. I love cotton candy. Are you gonna eat yours? You feel full on her saccharine smile, and you don't need any more candy. You decide to indulge her and hand yours over. She devours that in seconds, too. What do you wanna do? Drinks. Let's get a drink. They have bubble tea that you can try. Angie's never had some before, so this should be a fun experience for her. Her face lights up on the first sip. I kind of pinned Angie as a bubble tea kind of girl. A solid and a liquid? I could kiss whoever invented this. That makes you feel irrationally jealous, and you try to ignore that feeling. Angie and you walk around the festival a bit more till the sky begins to darken and a crowd gathers at the edge of the campus grounds. A hush draws over the crowd as the fireworks begin to shoot up into the sky and explode into a colorful array. Angie lets out delighted sounds at the sight of them, and you find yourself watching her expressions more than you find yourself watching the fireworks. She catches you staring and smiles at you. What? Nothing. Your feelings for Angie have grown past the stages of friendship, but does she like you? It's hard to tell since she's friendly with everyone. She seems to treat everyone the same way. What do? Go all out, ask her on a date out of town, or chicken out. I guess we can save here. I'm assuming this is the wrong move. That's why I saved. I'm gonna do this. Angie, I have something to tell you. You decide that even if she turns you down, at least you tried. Yeah, you turn her by the shoulder, that way she'll face you. Your eyes are intense on her face. Angie, I've had a lot of fun being your roommate, but I think I could have more fun being your romantic partner. What I'm saying is, I like you, Angie. Angie smiles. I like you too! I happen to find you very aesthetically pleasing. I don't mind us going out or dating. All I ask is patience. I want our relationship to be organic and not rushed. And I'm definitely not putting out on the first date. I wouldn't ask you to. Great. I can't wait for us to get to know each other better. I'll set up a date. You are so happy you think you'd cheer more loudly than a firework going off. Instead, you shyly link your pinky fingers with hers. That's cute. She laces all of her fingers with yours instead and squeezes down, offering you a soft smile. Hey. That one didn't have a drink number. You've asked Angie out, but what exactly will that mean for the two of you? You want to impress her and be a good romantic partner, but before the two of you can even get more serious, you have a lot of getting to know each other to go through. Angie prefers slow blossoming relationships. and you will respect that. Besides, getting to spend more time with her is always a plus. That said, it's time to plan a date for the two of you. Something simple and something that will give the two of you time to talk. You figure a dinner at a restaurant would be a good place to start. You book a spot for the local restaurants in town. Angie drives the two of you there. Seafood? Angie asks as she passes the tank filled with live lobsters. Do you not like seafood? I love sea animals. Oh no, you've already messed up the date by taking her out to seafood. Should we find another place? No, this is fine. I can manage this. They have to have non-seafood options. The two of you sit down at the table and peruse the menu. Thankfully, there are some alternative options you both order. While you wait for the food, you talk. Mostly, Angie talks. She's a great conversationalist, and there's nothing she can't talk about. You nod your head along to what she has to say. What are you thinking of for next year? I'll probably stay at the college. It's a free ride, so why shouldn't I want to stay here? And then after that, after I graduate, I'll probably work back in the States. If you graduate, I've seen your grades. They're not that bad. C's make degrees, as they say. Dinner arrives and you make small talk over it. There's one pressing question you have to ask. Angie, I know you said you wanted to take this relationship slow, but I wanted to ask if we could be exclusive. Meaning? Meaning that while we're dating, we won't be seeing anyone else? That's fine with me. You smile with relief, and the anxious knot in your stomach dissolves. You had been worried you'd been pushing too much. You didn't want to pressure her too much, given she wasn't huge on relationships and dating. Once dinner is over, you pay for the bill, and as you wait for your credit card to come back, you notice Angie eyeing the lobster tank. Angie? You ask with some trepidation. You don't like the scheming look she has in her eyes. What if we stole their lobsters and freed them? What? Angie shushes you so you don't draw the attention of the waiters. It'd be funny. We'd be letting the lobsters go back to their free life. I don't know. I'll do it on my own if you won't. Angie looks serious, and you know there's no way to dissuade her once she has an idea in her head. I'm not getting arrested over lobsters. Who says we'll get arrested? Angie, wait for me in the car. She gets up from the table, and you heave a sigh and leave the restaurant. You have no idea how she's going to steal the lobsters. 10 minutes later, Angie runs out of the restaurant holding the entire tank within her hands. She's yanked it out of the walls by the look of it. Your eyes bulge in shock. One of the waiters is yelling at her to come back, but she keeps running. She drops the tank into the back seat, buckles it in, and then jumps into the driver's seat before gunning the engine. The car bursts out of the parking lot and down the road back to the school. You gape in shock at her as she whoops wildly with glee. Angie, I can't believe you actually did it. She just grins at you. Daniela opens the door to the dorm room and her jaw drops open when she sees you and Angie standing there. Angie with a lobster tank in her hands. Oh, where did you two go? On a date. At this, she leans over and pecks you on the cheek. You flush at the unexpected action. Best date ever. She walks into the dorm room and plops the tank down in her room. That is quite a sight. Daniela arches her quizzical brow and looks at the two of you. You went on a date with Angie? Like, a date? Yeah, that's impressive. I never thought she'd actually like someone. Make sure you treat her right. Or you'll beat me up for it? Daniela shakes her head. Or Aunt Donna will. That woman is quiet, but she is terrifying. You follow Angie into her room and find that she set the tank up on a nightstand by the wall. I thought she said she was going to set him free. Want to name one of them? She points to one lobster. I've already named some of them. This one is Lobsterson, this is Lobby Jr., this one is Ariel. As she rambles on, you can't help but find her cute. Angie may be chaos personified, but now she is your chaos personified. Yeah, okay. You smile and lean in closer to her, wondering what the future will hold for the two of you. Is that it? I think we did it. I'm not sure. I think we did it. That seemed like a happy ending. I'm not really sure. I think technically that was like a slow burn. That was cute. That was Angie's route of Resident Lover. Not my cup of tea personally. I'm not an extrovert. I don't go party and drink all the time. So, but it was cute. And we got some extra secrets. There was a murder mystery. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like if you like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.